sandwiches, ice cream, coffee and snacks, and many other pleasing treats. Our foods are fresh and tasty, our drinks satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
Welcome to Average Joe's Drive-In.
And now, on with the show.
everybody, welcome to Average Joe's Drive-In, episode 41. You just heard the song Skies Set Ablaze by the band Vintersea. And with me from the band is my old friend from way back, the very talented and shred master himself, Jorma Spaziano. How you doing, brother?
Hey man, long time no speak. How are you?
I'm doing very well. You know, enjoying a warm day here in Maine in the winter, and I'm sure it's like 80 out where you are today. And
yeah, drizzly 80 degrees. It's nice out here. It's pretty good. It's like 50 or something today, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty badass, man.
I know.
So, Jorma and I have known each other for years. Our bands used to play together a lot, and then he moved out west, you know, like a settler heading out to, you know, to start a new life on the wild frontiers of the West, and you know, and that's you know, and he started a new band out there, or joined a new band out there called Vintersea. That's absolutely the balls. I love them. Album's great. So yeah, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about the band, how it all came about, a little bit about yourself, you know, all that stuff, and kind of catch them up.
Sure, yeah. Okay, this is always the hardest part of any time we're talking, especially when you're going to talk about yourself. Jeez. Some of your listeners may, if they've been in the scene for a while, might remember. If they remember ItCon, they might remember A Constant Battle. I played guitar with those dudes since its inception back in the day, and that's where I met you, TJ, the mighty TJ Washburn, which is awesome. We've been homies ever since, so that's really cool. And I've been out here for about 5 years, so it just kind of shows, you know, how long we know. I guess we could consider ourselves old friends at this point.
Well, I think we've known each other for like at least 10 or 11 years or so, anyway.
Yeah, seriously, like we could totally like just dropped off of each other's radar, you know, after moving, you know, 3,000 miles away. But we didn't, so that's awesome.
Definitely one of the beautiful things about social media, one of the good points about social media anyway, is being able to keep in touch, you know?
Yeah, I think that was this original idea anyway, not this
right.
Not this cesspool of misinformation that it is these days.
Right.
But I digress. So yeah, I scooted out here, and wasn't really looking to do metal. I was gonna join a jazz fusion group and kind of do that kind of thing, because I went to school at University of Maine for music, so I was gonna sort of get back to that stuff, because you know it's what us old timers do, right? We stop playing metal and go play that old jazz stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
But anyways, I saw a Craigslist ad for a band. I checked them out, and they were pretty cool. And they're a band called Staller, which Jeremy Spencer, my current drummer, and Riley Nix, my current co-guitarists, were in that band. They were looking for a vocalist. They weren't looking for a guitar player. So I said, hey, if you don't have a second guitarist and you're looking for another guitarist, this is some of the stuff that I've done, blah blah blah. And they messaged me back, and we got together and to see if it would gel. Actually, another funny thing that ties all this West Coast jazz back to this whole Maine ties thing. One of the first time I met Jeremy, the drummer, was Mike from the Contortionists was in Portland, Oregon.
Yeah.
And so like I'd been talking to Mike, and he plus one me and Jeremy. So we went and hung out with Mike up there. So it was basically like,
the main connection hooked you up,
Yeah, the Portland West meets Portland East, I guess. But I mean, it was still pretty cool because, me and Mike shooting the shit, in the van, hanging out with the Contortionist guys, it was pretty cool. And of course, Jeremy, never had met me before. He's probably expecting me to drop him in a suitcase and throw him off the bridge or something. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So we started working as a Stereon from there, and shortly, I would say probably within another week, Avian, our vocalist, came in, to try out, and Jeremy found her on the Oregon State, campus. She was looking to join a band. I was real leery about the female-fronted thing because, man, for the most part, I'm just not enthusiastic about it. Thankfully, they're coming out with some, actual women that bring the brutal. Like there's so many killer female fronted bands out there.
Has a phenomenal range.
Yeah, you gotta understand. Like this is her first band. Okay,
really?
She's like,
wow.
yeah. So this is her first band. So she, that usually surprises people because she didn't need a lot of coaching or development. She's got a great amount of natural talent, and B, she loves the genre. She loves to sing, and she loves the metal genre. And I won't go into her history with why she's in, like her whole history with metal and being in Malaysia and all that sort of stuff. But, I know quite a bit of it. And from what I know of it, someone who's been confronted with some of the things she's been confronted with and still is into it gets a lot of respect from me because, she is what I would consider a true metalhead, honestly. So yeah, so that's kind of how it all began. We all just started, just jamming, coming up with tunes. We came up with the first Asterion EP, which did pretty well. It's a 5-songer. You can find it on YouTube or our Bandcamp. And then we went through a couple of lineup changes. Went through about 3 bass players. I don't know what it is about bass players in this, but just can't keep them.
I think that's with almost every band, dude. Very, very few bands that I have ever been in have ever been able to keep a bassist for more than like a year or 2 tops, and then it's just every band I've been in, that usually is the biggest rotating position in the band is the bass player.
It sort of seems like a hell of like if you were a business-minded individual and you wanted to do anything in the music industry, it sort of seems like that's kind of like, you could fill in some gaps, dude, if you would just like put down the guitar for a little while and pick up the bass for a little while.
Oh, absolutely.
You could probably, you could pull some money in, I guess. So anyway, we decided to, after our last bassist, Duncan, followed, his personal, life goals up to Washington State. We just basically said, you know what? We're just kind of done with searching for bass players. We'll just roll with backing tracks. So all the tracks that are on the LP, I played with, the opinion and points of view of, the rest of the band, but they wanted to hear for bass lines. So we just basically use those currently when we play live, and nobody's ever called us out as like being posers or something like that for using those. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. It's kind of how we got to where we're at right now. So that's pretty exhaustive, I guess you could say.
Now you shot a video for Sky Set Ablaze.
Yeah, with Hot Kyle Productions, Kyle Winery, really great guy. Super inexpensive. I was like really skeptical. I was like, he's going to show up with like his with 4 iPhone 4s, and he's going to just merge that stuff together with Windows Movie Maker or something.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Don't diss the iPhone 4 video, the iPhone video, or any of that stuff. People are doing some pretty awesome stuff with those. Really, to be honest, I mean,
I agree.
It's the video on some of the phones now is almost better than the friggin'
GoPros?
The GoPros and other stuff, like even the cameras I always used to use to shoot video at shows and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like they're better than that stuff. So it's very cool to see. But getting back to the video, I mean, looks professional. It looks very well put together. There's a lot of cool little things if you watch the video, like it several times, like I have. I noticed some little things in there, and I don't know if that was... I'm guessing it was probably done on purpose. With like some color contrast changes and different things, like the warm and soft tones. And so, I'm guessing, that was all done on purpose, but... Yeah,
like the concept that's cool because, like, and of course, I get all this stuff after the fact because, I'm not really, like... Riley and Avian and sometimes Jeremy are all really kind of keyed into like, the idea what the song's about and the visuals they see. And they're a little bit more abstract and cerebral than me. I'm more like, ham-fisted and visceral with how I see things. But I'm like, put some fire in there and make some ice over there and throw some glaciers and put some Godzilla in there. And they're all just like, no.
Hey, but
we gotta be a little more subtle. So I guess the color contrasting is like, so like the bluish stuff is obviously representative of the ice aspect of it. And, The other side is fire. It's all about the end of humanity through our own hands, which is what the whole album is about. It's sort of a
so it's really cheery. It's an uplifting album.
Yeah, playing with blood, watching the world burn, as are the lyrics. Yeah, it's definitely something you would want to teach your young children to sing, and I encourage that by the way.
Hey, I would, if I had kids, I would probably be playing Cannibal Corpse to them. So I mean, I can't really, they'd be listening to the Misfits and Cannibal Corpse and Maiden, and
right.
I can't really say anything about that. Oh, come on, Daddy, can we please listen to Hammer for Smash Face, or or Make Them Suffer?
Fuck with a knife again?
Oh,
I want to fuck with a knife. Fuck with a knife, Daddy.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Or some of the other more vulgar titles of Cannibal Corpse, but whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I care, that doesn't bother me any, but I'll, try to keep it reasonable for the show's sake and not be...
Yeah, right. Two stories. I could drop F-bombs, right?
Oh, yeah. You can definitely drop them. I try to be reasonable with the language. I don't want to censor anybody, but at the same time,
I'm not Hood, so I'm not going to try.
This isn't it is what it is. But I try to keep it somewhat reasonable and little on the articulate side, I guess. Not that isn't articulate. Right. It is the most useful word in the English language, but.
Seriously, pretty damn articulate. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Totally. So yeah, we shot that at the Snow River Park up just on the foot of Mount Hood, and Mount Hood is huge. Like it's like those are like the foothills of Mount Hood, and they look like one of the things when I moved out here. Everybody was saying like, Maine is nice, but Oregon is big, and I'm just like, yeah, blah blah blah. How big could a big old thing of rock be? And I got out there and I saw Mount Hood from 23,000 feet, and I'm like, holy shit. Like, it's unbelievable. If you've never seen it, I mean, I would say, take some time and come check it out, because there's just amazing stuff.
I hear that name and I instantly think Lord of the Rings, which fits into that video, perfectly, so.
Seriously. We won't equate Avian with Gollum. She will kill me. So. Or Frodo, I guess. I guess I would be more Gollum and she would be Frodo. So yeah, pretty funny. But yeah. And the rest of it was shot in the performance stuff was shot in an airplane hangar.
Oh, cool.
A small airplane hangar. Yeah, so that was kind of neat.
Cool, yeah. See, I only ever really had, like, the opportunity to kind of do one video, and I think you might have been there, actually, or some of the guys from Constant Battle might have been there. We actually were shooting it at an old club we used to play at called the 103 Ultra Lounge. And
I remember the 103, yeah.
And we, they gave us permission to come in on a Sunday and just let us bring a bunch of people in. And the guys that were shooting it shot the whole thing. And, like, this was, all this stuff was done on tape, like high-def tape. And the entire tape that had, like, all of the main shots on it, something happened with it, and they lost the whole tape before they could get it on. So we never got to actually put the video out. I mean, we had, like, 60, 70 people show up on a Sunday to just be extras in it. We played the song, like, 15 times. And, well,
oh my gosh,
we lip-synced the song 15 times. We didn't really actually play it, but,
Yeah, we kind of did the same thing. We had it playing, but we were playing along with it. But funny side note about that video shoot. I was sick as a son of a bitch. In that I think I had probably the flu at that point doing that, so I probably infected all the camera guys, all two of them, but and probably the entire airport staff. But aside from being a plague bearer, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna feel like ass. But somebody brought in a huge amount of donuts, and I got a massive sugar high. And it seemed to work out because I felt 100 times better after the video shoot. But man, like I look like a corpse. I'm gonna have to catch an illness before we shoot our next one.
That works very well for the aesthetics of the video, so
It does. Plus, it keeps my normally very out of control hair kind of sweaty and in control.
Right. Now. Who did you record the album with?
So basically, we went up to Howard Hall Studios up in Portland, and there's a guy, dang it, His name is Justin, and I forgot his last name because I'm a loser. Any other day, I would have it. And so we recorded with him. Really super awesome dude. He's a vocalist. He records pretty much most of the local groups up in Portland. I think usually record with him. It's a legitimate studio, so it's not like some dude's basement with some blankets and stuff.
Not what I would do for a recording, you know.
Right, but a lot of people get really pretty awesome results out of it. But we definitely went into the studio, recorded the drums and the vocals, because we felt like that those were the most important thing. And the cool part about it is Justin is also a vocalist, so he was really able to give Avian a lot of really good pointers and select some really sick microphones. Like one of the microphones that he chose to do with all the clean stuff was like a $20,000 microphone that Taylor Swift or somebody used, and I don't know why this is $20,000. Anyway,
because Taylor Swift used it. That's why it was $20,000.
You gotta wonder.
She sweat on the mic, so there's some sort of like residual Taylor Swift vocal thing going on with it.
There's some Swiftiness happening to it, but anyway, I thought he really captured a lot of really phenomenal nuances out of her performances, and of course, you know, for all you gear nerds, the scream vocals, those are all done with an SM7B, because you can't friggin' beat that microphone. So if you're an aspiring studio nerd, man, it's the best $400 you'll ever spend for your vocalist. It's just incredible. It's great for cabs too.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so we recorded that up there. We did reamp the guitars, but we ended up liking the Axe Effects tones better. And then we sent it off to Evan Sammons of Last Chance to Reason fame to have him do the mixing and mastering, and we sent him the DIs, and he ended up reworking the guitar tones through a Kemper, which, if you don't know what that is kind of like just another modeler type of thing, and that's the sounds you hear today. So I feel bad for the guy, because I'm sure we irritated him to death.
Every band does when you record an album. It's, you know, you always have that one. There's usually like one person in the band that's way worse than everybody else. That just
I'm a total pitch bitch. Yeah,
that's just super picky. That's good though. In a lot of ways, it's good. But when you are the one, I mean, you know, you've recorded albums before. It's you know, where you've actually been the engineer and stuff on them.
Never again.
It is an experience, because by the end of it, you are ready to just like choke slam somebody, because you're like, dude, quit asking me about tweaking your snare tone or your whatever tone again. It's as good as I'm gonna get it. Okay, just, you know.
Seriously.
But now I can't hear this because you mixed this over. It's like, holy Christ, I'm trying to get it to sound bad.
Exactly.
You're ready to, like, pull your hair out. Thank God I kept my head shaved or short, because I would have pulled my hair out, you know.
Yeah, so we did that. We did that with the first EP, the Asterion EP.
That EP sounds great as well, so.
It does, and we pretty much. The funny thing is like the drums are MIDI. All I think they're Steven Slate drums, and the guitars are all the Axe Effects once again. So we sort of were at the bass too, and we sort of basically were able to get away with a lot of it. So you can make a really great record without going to the studio, but if you want to keep it legit, I feel like if you want people to pay, $10 or more, I guess. Maybe get the expertise of a true audio engineer, or at the very least, have somebody do the mixing and mastering, because, man, I'll tell you, it's a load off of you, and B, it makes the album sound incredible. Like, I was all worried about all the orchestrations and stuff that I did in the arrangements and stuff, but they sat really well in the mix, and that's not because of me, that's because of Evan's expertise.
Well, that unbiased set of ears is so huge, because when you've done it yourself, or after you've listened to it 8,000 times, you definitely start to miss things, and stuff kind of starts blending together, and you have to really have that fresh set of ears, because those are the people that pick the stuff up and say, Jesus, the mix is pretty good, but those hi-hats are drowning out your mids on your guitar, and the bass and the kick basically sound like mud because the kick's not snappy enough, and
Yeah. Yeah, mixing drums is a whole other art. Like, each instrument is its own discipline. And anybody that is a musician and an audio engineer, like people like Evan, I mean, kudos to you guys, man. It's like being able to sing and play guitar at the same time. I don't know how you do it.
It also helps that Evan is like one of the better drummers that I have pretty much ever heard. That guy's ridiculous. So
Yeah, he's insane. He's insanely talented. If anybody was ever born to be a musician, it's that dude.
So if any of you guys are curious about the band Evan played in, if you aren't familiar, because a lot of you maybe aren't like as big of music fans, go find the band Last Chance to Reason on Spotify.
Yeah, do it.
I just listen to it and my brain can't even process the time signatures and stuff, especially if you like jazz and metal.
It's delicious proggy goodness. It's just so good. It's like a concept album and it's progressive.
If you like video games, jazz, metal, and just amazing musicianship, go check that album out,
No doubt. Like AJ and Chris and Mike and all those guys and Brian.
Great guys, too. I've known.
Yeah, totally. I'm still friends with most of them. I get a lot of props from Evan Haynes.
I don't know
if you remember him.
We played some shows when he was in the band.
Yeah, he's doing really well, and not in the metal scene down there in Portland, Maine. So
he shifted to more like kind of the folky type stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, I think it's more rootsy stuff, but the guy's an incredible player. He's really giving me props, and I'm just like, get out of here, kid. I mean, like, are you serious? It's like that guy is just so damn good. Same thing with AJ. I don't know what he's up to these days, but that kid is.
He's working on he's been jamming with. I talk to AJ occasionally, and he's doing. He is working on some music stuff. I think he's down in Portland area again, and he's starting to work on some music stuff with some guys down there. So.
Well, man, good luck to them. I mean, I hope that they continue to have success because they deserve it.
And
sure.
Speaking real quick of the Last Chance to Reason guys, their singer Mike Lassard, who sings on both Level 2 and Level 3, is in a new band called not a new band. They've been around for quite a while, but he's in a band called The Contortionist. Absolutely phenomenal band.
They just dropped an album. It's really good.
Yeah, they're on tour all over the place, so you can.
With big bands too.
Oh yeah, they play with some really really big bands. Did they just do something with Between the Buried and Me?
I didn't catch that, but it wouldn't surprise me in the least because I believe that they work with Jamie King.
Yeah, I know they do a lot with Jamie, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and also Evan Sams works with Jamie King, blah, blah, blah. It's funny, another parallel. Just before our album was just when our album was being worked on, just after that, The Contortionist was going in to work with Evan for pre-production on the album that's out now. So it's just really weird to be so far apart from like bands, and people that you used to roll with a little bit here and there, and then like have the parallel still exist. We do live in amazing times.
I still say you got to talk to Mike and have him do a guest appearance on your next album because that would be insane to have her and him.
It would be pretty
cool. Together doing some harmony shit and like harmony growls and cleans would be awesome.
I wonder how many times a day he gets asked that though by bands.
Well, I mean, it might be a little different situation though with you, just because we kind of have a history and go back and
Well, I'm not gonna be one of those guys that comes in and do it. But if he does happen across this and he does want to shoot it, we're homies on Facebook, man. You can just drop me a line. I'll get back to you. We'd be thrilled to do that.
The beautiful thing is, with the way technology is, he could probably do that from home on his laptop and send it to you.
Seriously.
He doesn't have to worry about flying out there and tracking in the studio and.
I wonder if there's any weird thing with being on a legit label as he is. Like the label would be like, we partly own your soul, so it's like you can't go do anything with those lowbrow ruffians over there from
Oh
Portland.
my God, we're going up to we can't. They're not allowed in the country club.
You can't do that. They're not good enough for us, you see. Yeah, we can't make profit.
Speaking of selling your soul, this is a great transition. You guys just started working with a new management group.
We did. Actually, it's our first management group. Riley and I have been handling the bulk of the marketing aspect of it, which is like another full-time job, by the way. If you're not pushing the bejesus out of your material, no one's going to hear it.
It's very hard.
So we've been working our ass off with that. It's a smaller management firm out of Nevada. Very personable. Jill Colbert, I can't remember. I want to say like Stephen Colbert. But anyways, she did the artwork for our Skies Set Ablaze hoodies and T-shirts, which we're gonna start pushing here pretty soon. So it turns out she's one of the head people for this Host management. A couple of other really great bands, the Animus Complex. Shout out to Matt Turkington. Those guys are awesome. You should check them out. I think they're what you would call tech death, but they're really, really great. Matt's an exceptionally talented vocalist in the metal scene and other genres, by the way. So there's a bunch of bands that she does that are like on our coast that we're gonna end up doing probably a tour with, or some of them will be trying to hook up to do some tours this summer, which will be pretty interesting. So we're pretty excited about that. It's gonna help us branch out a little bit further, reach new markets, which is important, I think, at this point.
Oh, absolutely. Get the name out more. Because the video has been very successful. I mean, it seems like...
Yeah, we got like over 1 million hits on Facebook. Oh, it's crazy. Views, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, I think, helping propel and having the fact that you're all very talented musicians. You have a vocalist that has an incredible range, which, being a vocalist myself, having that sort of range and being equally as good on both ends of the spectrum of singing and like the heavier vocals is not an easy thing to do at all.
Yes, but particularly live. For anybody who doesn't know, she does that stuff live too. So what you're hearing, I mean, is definitely multi-track screamy vocals, but that's her. That's her with maybe a little bit of verb and delay on it. But that's her.
I mean,
check out the live videos. It's nuts. It's insane to watch that happen. I mean, I actually mess up live seeing her do that.
The first time that I listened to you guys and heard her do that, I'm like, holy shit, her lows are like as low as mine, if not lower. And I have a deep voice. And I'm like, holy crap. And then you just hear her go into those beautiful like melodies and stuff, and it's like, wow. She actually reminds me of like the female version of Mike Lassard, because Mike can do that. Mike goes from those highs to those guttural lows, and it's just like a blink of an eye, and it's seamless.
Yeah, Mike's scream vocals are just mind-numbingly awesome, and I think Avian's right on par with that.
Very, very much so.
Like, it's almost like she's like the female counterpart to that. So like, I'm totally seeing what you're saying about them doing like a little.
That's why I mentioned that would be really cool to see her and him do like do a metal duet together and harmonize both the highs and the lows.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like they did that a couple of times on level 2, and I was like, God damn, that's really awesome. Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. But the question would be, who would do the lows, him or her?
Do them
She's a savage, dude.
I'm telling you, do like old school 50s doo-wop harmonics, but as metal vocals and lows and highs with her and him matching each other. Because that would be a hell of a concept, because I've never heard anybody do that. Trademark TJ Washburn. No. Yeah.
Right, seriously.
I want residuals. I want residuals. No.
0.5% on everything.
That's right. I'll take 0.2. I'll take pennies on the dollar. Right? I don't care.
I can't be negotiating. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. She is exceptionally talented. Whether or not she knows it or not, or would admit it, or she gets kind of a little bit. She's not like your average vocalist. She's not like one of those like attention seeking things like the lead singer disorder. She doesn't really have that. She's pretty chill. Hopefully at some point we'll get to do some shows back east and y'all can meet her. She's super chill. She's very cool.
It'd be fun. Maybe maybe I could come out of retirement and actually go to a show. And I just,
that would be good.
I don't go to many shows anymore. It takes a pretty special occasion for me to come out of hibernation for anything. I did a couple. Salvo did a reunion show last year, and
awesome.
ItCon did a reunion show. Well, Salvo did one 2 years ago. ItCon did one last winter, and it was fun. I was talking to some friends about that. I said I've really kind of been out of it for 7 years now. So
yeah, I remember when we were talking about you when you were gonna get out of it for a bit. You were gonna do some other different stuff, and I was like, dude, what are you doing? But you know what, man, you got to do. It's a lot of damn work, and like I remember doing the Godsmack show there back then, and that went off pretty well. And then we had a couple ones after that. Not really having like the inside scoop that you had with booking and promoting and working with other bands. I'll tell you what, man, like you got a lot of people that talk a lot of ambition, but boy, I'll tell you, when it comes to putting the work into it and getting back to people, it's pretty like do yourself a favor, people. Get back to the people that are trying to work with you. I mean, you'd be surprised how far that alone will take you.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I'm getting to the point where I'm kind of starting to miss playing and doing the band stuff, but at the same time, it's like, I'm still in that weird state where I've been out of it long enough now that I'm kind of like, I've made my peace with it, but at the same time, I still miss it at times. And
just so what you're saying is like you've been away from it long enough to forget how much work it really is.
Pretty much, yes.
But you know what though, dude? If you just did it on the performance level, I think you'd be happy to be back, and you didn't take it so serious. Like we had to book the shows and herd the worms, and like
I
all that.
really would like to do not a metal band, and I've said that for a long time. I would be really happy doing a horror punk band or even a horror metal type band, but I really just don't know if I'm really up for doing straight up metal anymore. It just doesn't really get me like it used to,
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know what, people change, man, and
I still
love
listening to it, but as far as performing it goes, it's just not really. I've done it, I did it for a long time. I had varying levels of success with it. It was fun, made amazing friends, but it's just, it gets to that point, and it's like I have so many other things like my writing and the podcast and just.
It's just 8 hours, just 24 hours in a day.
And plus working full time and everything else. It's just, there's a lot. I mean, I wish I was a better musician to the point where I could record my own stuff and just play everything on it myself and write songs, because I would be happy being a studio musician and just writing albums and putting stuff out,
Yeah, totally. And lots of people do that, but I mean, you gotta wonder, like, how, I don't know, dude, you know what? You gotta just do your thing. Whatever it is, just do your thing. Stick with it, and and I also have to say, like, shout out to anybody back east in the main scene, having come from there and started out there. Like, man, if you're pulling any kind of attendance in there, man, good for you, because it's a hard market to get people out, like, especially during the crappy winters. I know y'all are fearless in the snow, but I mean, sometimes you're just like, dude, it's too damn cold. I don't want to go out. And over here it's like there's a lot more people, so it seems like it's easier. It's a percentage game.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I think Portland still has a fairly solid scene, but outside of that, Augusta has a club that does pretty well. Not Augusta, Lewiston, Auburn, some at Waterville, somewhere down around there, that does fairly well with shows and stuff. But outside of that, like the northern, central and northern part of the state really don't seem to have a whole lot going on. Most anything that's left now is pretty much southern Maine, and I really don't even know how big, like, the metal scene is down that way anymore. I think it's a little more.
Yeah.
I think it's a little more. I hate to use the phrase hipstery, but that's pretty much what it is, down there from.
Yeah.
So.
I think people will understand what that is universally, whether they take it derogatorily or not. It's up to them, but yeah, I mean, you're totally right. Like, the metal scene, and actually a lot of places to begin with, is a pretty tough scene to break into. Like, the community itself is super supportive, but like, there's just not a lot of people that are, like, people have this weird misconception of, like, you know, like we're all sacrificing goats and dancing in urine or something like that at metal shows.
That's been a perception and a stigma that I think we deal with from day one. From the time I got into metal, I heard those types of stigmas. And
you found it's not even true in the least bit. Like, it's like, you know, maybe aside from a little bit of weed here and there.
I was so disappointed. I mean, no.
I brought my goat and everything. Like, there's no blood. Nobody's got a damn knife I can borrow. What the hell's this?
And I will say, you know, coming from the metal community and being in bands and stuff, honestly, I was a booking agent and a promoter for years. And I will tell you right now, flat out, the metal musicians are usually the nicest and most down-to-earth people you will meet out of all the different genres of music that I dealt with. They usually have the least amount of ego. They usually are very personable and will hang out and chat with people. And I'm not trying to shit on any other the genres of music.
Not at all.
But from seeing things firsthand, the metal, I mean, and I'm talking like big bands that I dealt with that are, you know, on labels and tour full time and, you know, you see music videos and radio airplay and blah, 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 are usually like the nicest dudes. Like the guys in Chimera were some of the nicest dudes. The dudes in Mushroom Head, super nice dudes, you know.
Oh, geez, even take the guys in Dead Season. Like, you know, they're, you know, I know that a lot of people in the local scene like to bust their balls because they're the guys that made it. You know, made it big. I mean, but like, and actually, we in Constant Battle used to have our little misconceptions about them too, because we'd heard from other bands that they were kind of like stuck on themselves and had a bit of an ego, blah blah blah. But we played a couple of shows with them, and they were cool as shit. So we totally ate our own hat in that regard. So I mean, you know, seriously, don't listen to the friggin' bullshit, aka on the internet, about other bands and stuff, because until you meet them, man, you just don't know. You gotta go and experience it.
And I always tried to do that no matter who I dealt with. I tried to, you know, if you were a dick to me, then okay, I'm not gonna work with you. If you're cool and, you know, don't have your head shoved up your own ass so far that you can't see daylight, then, you know, I'm fine with it. But, so what else do you have coming up for, you know,
fun and interesting things.
Fun and interesting things for the band, you know, like future-wise.
So there's something coming up really soon that I can't quite divulge just yet, but Riley and I are super duper excited about it, and we think it's totally badass. Hopefully, all of my other musician friends will think it's totally badass. So if you care, check us out on Facebook and give it a like. We'll be posting that up probably at the end of the month. Next weekend, we're starting shooting another video, so that'll be cool. We've got 2 more videos on the docket, but we're going to shoot another one for the host. And probably my co-guitarist is going to get ticked off at me for spilling those beans because he likes to keep everything on the DL and Cloak and Dagger and whatnot. But I, you know what, I'm feeling the moment, so I'm going to say we're going to do for the host. So we got our acting. I guess so. So we split it up. We got the acting side of it, and then we got I guess acting might not be the right thing, but anyways, we got that part of the video, and we've got the performance part coming up later February.
So seeing that Jorma just spilled the beans on that, we're going to give you all a little treat. We're going to play a second track by Vintersea right now, and we're going to play that song that they're shooting the video for, so you can get all horny and excited about it for when it comes out. So right now, we're going to play The Host. right, everybody, welcome back to Average Joe's Drive-In. You just heard The Host by Vintersea, which is...
I love that song.
It's the whole album is phenomenal, dude. Seriously,
you,
I get in those moods where it's like I want to listen to it, and this is and I will give you credit where credit is due here, and this isn't blowing smoke or kissing ass. This is one of the few albums of any of pretty much very few bands, whether of any level, that I love the album front to back, and I don't get a lot of albums like that anymore. There's always a few songs I don't care for. I love the whole thing, and I actually like to listen to it in order from front to back. When I listen to it,
it is a concept album that helps, man.
Well, yeah. There's those times when you want to hear a certain song. And I'll throw something on. Like one of my favorite tracks on there is "Entities." That's just a great song.
It's a banger for sure.
So I'll throw that on, or "Sky Set Ablaze," or any of the other songs, and I'll throw those on. And I'm horrible at remembering song names because I don't actually look at the song titles ever. It's just like
me too.
It's just like the album is in my car, and it's like as soon as it comes on, I know the song, but it's just like I'm so bad at that. Like I call songs by the wrong names all the time, so forgive me if I.
You're not in the wrong, dude. You're not the only one who does it. I mean, even I do it. Like all my favorite bands I listen to, I'm like, Riley's really good at remembering song names and lyrics and stuff like that. I'm just like, dude, I love this song, and like Riley's just like, what band is it about? I usually get the band, but man, when it comes to the name of the song, I'm just terrible. Like, I don't know, I just put it on play, and I just rock the hell out to it.
So often when I'm trying to find something, I'm like, oh shit, what's the name of that song? Especially if I haven't heard it, so I have to go through all the songs until I hear, and I'm like, oh, that's the one. Okay, that song is called this. All right, I'm gonna put that in my playlist, or whatever, when I'm making something up, because like when I write, I always have music on when I write. When I'm writing when I'm writing books and stories and stuff, I always have music playing. But one of the things I do is I make playlist up specifically for whatever it is I'm writing. So
cool.
Each story I have like a playlist that is associated with that thing that I'm writing. Other than my short stories, I'm talking more like my novels and stuff. But for short stories, I just kind of will put it on random, so it will go from like Barry Manilow to like Cannibal Corpse to Beethoven to Three Doors Down to Johnny Cash. It's like whatever. It's all over the place, but.
You do have one of the most eclectic music tastes of any metalhead I've ever met. It's very true.
Everything, whatever. If it's good music, it's good music. That's all that matters.
That's right.
To me, so.
That's right, man. That's awesome. That's very awesome.
So it's we're actually starting to get to that time frame here where we're gonna have to wind stuff down a little. Told you it goes by quick.
Dude, it was like really like it feels like it's just been 10 minutes, man.
This is what happens. I wasn't lying, but. So before we close out, though, is there any movies or anything you've seen lately that you've been really excited about?
Oh gosh, I haven't really watched too many like movies. I don't really, but usually when I'm out, I'm shooting to play a show or something. But like I'll Netflix the hell out of stuff, and I've been watching Ash vs. Evil Dead
such a good show.
Over again. It is, and I love everything Bruce Campbell anyway. I even watched the Spider-Man movies just for his cameos, not for anything else. So I mean, I've always been a huge, Army of Darkness fan, Evil Dead. So it's just really, really. So that's pretty much what I've been digesting right at the moment. So that's. As far as movies, I'm trying to think.
Have you seen My Name is Bruce yet?
No, should I? I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a movie about Bruce Campbell playing Bruce Campbell. It's absolutely hilarious. If you're a fan,
that is so Bruce Campbell. It's a Bruce Campbell thing to do. Actually,
if you like him, you will absolutely get it, and you will die laughing because it is hilarious.
Dude, I know what I'm doing.
So find it. You probably could pick it up for like $2 on DVD or something. It's
dude.
Yeah, find it if you can. It's funny as hell.
That's the other great thing. Bruce Campbell's entertainment on a budget, man. That dude. He's so underrated. He's just hilarious, and his shtick is his shtick. I love it, man. We actually went to Vegas for some stupid thing my wife had to do for training, and we saw the was it the Evil Dead the musical? Yeah, it was awful. It was awful. It was awful and awesome at the same time.
Was it like full of like classical, like almost operatic style musical numbers, or
no,
not
even close.
Like Grease meets the Evil Dead?
Dude, wait, I'll just frame it to you this way. It was basically like High School Musical version. Like, and they say that straight up. They're like, if you're here to see some highfalutin stuff, you probably want to take off because you're going to be sorely disappointed.
But I think if you're an Evil Dead fan, you're probably not going in with that mindset anyway. You're like it.
Oh, it was fantastic. It was fantastic.
It wouldn't feel right if it was like a huge production. It would, feel a little off.
Exactly. It was
I
great.
actually just finished up both season 1 and 2 of Ash vs. Evil Dead, so I'm excited for season 3.
I'm on my second round. I think I must have got only like halfway through. Maybe season 2 wasn't fully released on Netflix or whatever, but yeah, definitely awesome. Love that show.
Yeah, I don't do TV shows very often because it's just such a big time commitment, and I have a tendency. What usually happens is, if I am actually considering getting rid of my cable again because I just don't watch enough of it other than like other than hockey and football. And go New England Patriots Day. This is going to be released after the game, but whatever. So you're hearing it after, and you can either console me with donations or something if they lose or whatever. But and everybody's like, oh, he's a Patriots fan. Fuck that dude. I ain't listening to the show anymore.
I'm a fan of no one, so there it is.
So anyway, I was saying I think I'm going to get rid of cable because I don't really watch it enough. What usually ends up happening with cable is I'll watch the first 2 or 3 episodes of the shows I like, and then I wait until they get released on Netflix, and then I just like binge watch them on a whole weekend or something and get them over and out with.
Yeah.
Because it's just like I don't want to watch something. If I'm going to watch something during the week, I want to throw a movie in or something, and one and done, I'm over with. Okay, I got 9,000 other things to do. So.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right, man. That's exactly how we do it too here. I almost I'll wait. Like for instance, like The Walking Dead's another show I really like, right? It's a very cliche metalhead thing, but still I love it. Even though it's got too much other side story, not enough zombie, like everybody complains about, I don't care. I like the whole thing. I'll wait till that whole damn season is on Netflix or Amazon, and I'll just watch that sucker 2 or 3 of them every night after work until I'm done. And
that's what happened with me with this season. I watched the first 4 episodes just to kind of get a feel for what was going on. I'm like, all right, I've got it DVR'd, but I haven't even considered going back and watching the rest of the season yet. I'll wait until it's done, and then I'll go and watch, the whole thing over again and get it done in 2 days, because that's just what happens when I watch. I told myself with Stranger Things come out this year that I wasn't going to watch that all in a day, and I managed to break it up into like 2, but or 2.5, whatever it was. But that's such a good show. I love that show so much. But
dude, it is like everything about it is rad as hell. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and watch season 2 again because I think like if you binge watch it, you can binge watch it like too fast or too much. Well, and that's
why I was telling myself, I'm like, I'm just gonna watch like 1 or 2 episodes a day. Hello?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna watch 1 or 2 episodes a day, and just do that for like a week. That way I don't burn through it. And then I'm like, no, I want to watch the next one. No, I want to watch the next one.
That's exactly what I did. Yeah. Totally. I was like, I'm just gonna watch 2 of them. Here it's like 11:30 at night, and I'm just cracking open another one.
And the beautiful thing about that show, though, is the seasons are so short. I don't feel bad about going back and rewatching them. But when you get into these shows where it's like 15, 20 episodes, I'm one and done. I never will go back and watch that show ever again.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, is this over yet?
So yeah, we are definitely running out of time here. So before we go, can you, throw out where people can check Vintersea out and, like websites and good stuff like that, so people know where you're at?
Yeah, like you can grab a lot of our stuff, Stereo and stuff, and the Vintersea stuff at HTTP Bandcamp Vintersea.com or Vintersea.bandcamp.com. You can grab us at, just look us up on Facebook, man. We'll link you out to everything right there. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on iTunes, pretty much wherever you get your music, that's where we're at.
We'll throw some links up to where you can check them out in the show description. So if you like what you've heard, go check them out, support them, buy their new album. If you want to support Average Joe's Drive-In, this is how you can do this. You can add us on Instagram at Thomas Washburn Jr., Twitter, TWJ Author. Go on Facebook, Average Joe's Drive-In Podcast. You can go to www.thomaswashburnjr.com, and you can buy my books on Amazon, because that money pretty much is going back into the show, and you get something out of it, and it helps me out. So if you like horror, and check that out on there, just go to Amazon.com, type in Thomas Washburn Jr. in the search. My books will come up. I've got, like I mentioned last show, I've got some cool stuff coming up that I'm going to be announcing pretty soon about another layer to the show. So I'm going to keep y'all in suspense there. It's going to be a little something extra. It's going to be really fun. I can't wait to announce that. I'm just hammering out some details there. And, make sure you check out my sponsors, the Maine Cannababes. They have some awesome stuff coming up. They are preparing for the new year. They're doing lots of activist work and working on getting some things done there. They're working on, I think they're going to start setting up stuff to shoot their new calendar. But there's all kinds of ways you can get involved with the Maine Cannababes by going to maincannababes.com. There's also a lot of very good information and resources on there. So, if that's something you are interested in or want to find more about, go to maincannababes.com. And I would like to thank Jorma for being on the show. It was great catching up with you, brother.
Dude, man, it's always good talking to you. We got to do this more often. Not even just in the podcast, just in general, man.
Definitely once in a while, just call and catch up and shoot the shit. And
I'm the worst typist of all time. So you'd have more luck talking to a goat.
but
yeah, this is easy. This is the way to do it.
So anyway, thank you again, and make sure you check Vintersea out wherever you go. I am your host, TJ Washburn. You have been listening to Average Joe's Drive-In. I will see you sexy animals on the flip side.
It's intermission. Rise and stretch time. Time to refresh yourself and visit our snack bar. Got a yen for hot popcorn? Your favorite soft drinks are sparkling cold. The juicy Frank's sizzling hot. There's delicious coffee, freshly brewed, and all kinds of ice cream and candy to tempt you. Showtime will be announced loud and clear to get you back to your car in time. So stretch your legs. Come to the snack bar now.